outlets, and then also so awesome to watch kids transform from not knowing how to do anything to having a full act prepared that they're happy to show their parents in a week.
And then the campers, sometimes they move on to become part of Sailor Circus. Is that correct?
So often now, actually. So when I was a student, there was no summer camp, and now it seems almost that summer camp is like somewhat of a feeder program into Sailor Circus, because so many of our Sailor Circus students were at one point a camper or a counselor in training or a counselor or are currently a counselor when it's summertime. So yeah, camp and Sailor Circus are definitely connected.
So what do you love about being an aerialist?
Ooh, toughest question yet. And I've had time to prepare. I think I like the mysteries of it, the unsolved. That's such a cool thing about the silk, is that you can get into the same position in so many different ways. Or then you can spin, or you can swing. You could do the same routine to different music and create a whole different vibe of it. I like the infinite possibilities, and then the way the rest of the world is not there when you're on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then something else that Rikki does, because there's just one more thing, is one of her best tricks is she can pour champagne or other liquid from the silks. So how did you get started doing that?
Ooh, that is a good question. I actually don't remember how I got started doing that. I think someone asked me if I could do it, and I had seen a picture of a woman sitting on a hammock pouring, but she was sitting upright and pouring down to a guest at an event, and I thought, oh man, I could totally do that upside down. And so I put my silk up in the backyard and got an empty wine bottle and had my husband stand under me with a glass, and I kept trying to pour in his glass until we realized I have to be touching the glass. And so from there, I just made up more positions that I could do it in and stuff like that.
So it is a highlight of any of our events that we hold here at the Circus Arts Conservatory, including our gala, to have Rikki hanging by silks upside down, pouring champagne or wine, or if it's a morning event, just orange juice. But it's really exciting, and people absolutely love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's just very unique. You won't see that in many other places besides in a circus function.
And I've noticed that not everyone can do it upside down, so I feel excited about that part.
So you've been here for a long time. You wear many, many hats. What is your favorite aspect of your job?
Ooh. Actually, working with the kids. I shouldn't even have to think about that very much. I get to work with kids in so many capacities, because with Karen at school, I work with elementary schoolers, and then when I'm here for Sailor Circus practice time, I mostly work with middle school and high schoolers. And I love kids. They give me life in so many different ways, and they're funny, and they teach me, and they teach me about my circus act, and they teach me about myself, and they teach me about life. And again, they're so funny. And kids, that's the best part of my job.
Okay. So I guess a lot of people that work here feel that way. There's a lot of interaction with children. Have you ever had any experience working with the Humor Outreach program, where we go to the senior facilities and entertain the seniors?
Just a little bit. This year was my first taste into that. I got to go there as kind of a liaison for the Sailor Circus students, although there were too few students who were able to be there for that one, and so I got to be in the
performance.
In the performance, and I know you can't see me, of course, because I'm over the radio, but I'm kid-sized anyway, so it worked out. So I got to be in a couple performances at a couple senior living facilities, and it was actually kind of emotional because my grandma is in a senior living facility, so it made me a little bit of emotional. But also really great to see the joy that we bring to them and them participate and them try and do a piece of what we're doing, because we go out into the crowd at the end of the performance and bring them the ribbon dancer to have them try something.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great. Yeah. And so finally, can you tell us about your costuming that you use for your performances?
They're often different. To go into school, I wear the same thing every day, which seems very normal to me, but students so often ask, why are you wearing the same thing as yesterday? This is my uniform for this job. So I have a really, I was going to say monotone, but it's not, a striped bodysuit with a red and white striped vest and a black skirt and matching ankle cuffs that I wear to school. And then when I perform on silks, I often wear a sparkly unitard that is from like neck to wrist to ankle, that fits the theme of the event. Although truly often my boss prefers me in the white costume, so I wear a white costume a whole lot.
And when you're not performing in a white costume, do you try to coordinate whatever you're wearing with your silks?
Yes. Well, not so. Usually, I don't prefer to be the same color as the silk, but I prefer to be a matching color to the event, and then so the color of the silk somewhere in my costume, but not matching. Otherwise, I might disappear into it as I do the wraps.
And are you one of the performers that likes to make her own costumes?
I am getting into it. I don't feel like I'm any kind of professional yet, but I like to do it. For the most recent event that I had, the Greatest Showman event that I was telling you about for our duo silks, I helped make my costumes. And I have a few more costumes at home that I helped make, but I'm just dabbling in that.
And do you have any performance plans or anything exciting coming up for the holidays?
Well, we have our Sailor Circus students are performing December 27th through 30th, and I'm excited for them. I haven't signed the contract for my most exciting upcoming gig, so I don't feel like I should say it yet.
Okay, then don't.
But I do have another exciting performance coming for our duo Silk Act that I'm super excited about, but like one more day and I'll have the contract in my email. So
okay, so we won't talk about that either. So regarding the show, the Sailor Circus show, which is called
12 Days After Christmas.
12 Days After Christmas. What, besides coaching, are there any other roles that you play in that production?
Yes, I will be helping prepare for the show each day, but then also I'll be rigging, which means like setting up the equipment and taking it down safely in between each act. So that I'll be rigging and coaching.
Yeah. Okay. And then actually, I know that Sailor Circus is also involved in an event, Santa's Grand Arrival at the local mall, the UTC, which I know many of you listening are not here in Sarasota, but it's a huge event, and it's very exciting for the kids to be performing in that and welcoming Santa.
The students are excited. I know they're excited in that one of my students who would be performing on silk for the Santa's Arrival let me know that she has a previous commitment that she has to be at a certain time. And I let her know, well, don't worry, it's okay. You can step out of this event, and I can have someone else take your place. And she said, no, I want to do silks with Santa. So I do. The students are looking forward to it. And although I actually had to be at another event during this event last year, I've continually heard nothing but great things about it. So I bet we're going to have another good one.
So, yeah, Sailor Circus is always looking forward to the holidays and always does a show between Christmas and New Year's. And it's a great time of year for us. And it's the first time that the kids really get to show off what they've learned since the beginning of this school year. So I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add, but we've covered all my questions.
I don't think so. I appreciate the opportunity. This thing always makes me so nervous. I don't know if I have anything to add.
Well, thank you so much. And for those of you that are listening, I'm going to tell you again, our web address is circusarts.org if you need any more information. And thank you for helping us shine the spotlight on Rikki today. And just want to tell you one more thing, and that is may all your days be circus days.